So sometimes, when you put a record on, you press play on the first song, and this is getting rarer and rarer in these days as songs are kind of individual experiences and projects are different and unique. But when you put it on an album, you press play and you know, like, oh my God, this is going to be a classic album. This is going to be one of those moments for me because the opening song is so special. The album has no choice but to stand up to that bar.
Okay.
Right? And Golden Hour is that album because Slow Burn is that song.
Thanks.
Straight up.
Thank you.
Like the first time I ever played that song, I didn't get past that song for about an hour.
Damn, I love that.
And the whole album from start to finish, as I'm sure anyone's fed back to you, or maybe you've even realized from the way I react to it on social media, is a special record.
Thanks.
So it's great to have you in this situation to capture Slow Burn in this environment. And
yes.
this is how you wanted it to
Isn't
look.
This fun?
It's great. This is pretty much all you. Is this how you wanted it to look and to feel?
When they said, what kind of vibe do you want for this? I said, think steamy, modern neon jungle. And they fucking delivered that. So
that's a very specific 4-worded description.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that came from, but I'm really like loving this vibe. It was really fun. It just, I don't know, it's kind of a moody song, and I don't know, it just felt right.
It's a very universal, welcoming song, though, as well. I mean, yeah, it's got that feel to it. It's reflective, and it's reflective from the opening line. I mean, it's very autobiographical and sets the record up beautifully. It's a very open album.
Thanks. It's definitely, I would say, my most personal. I feel like I am sharing more of myself on this album than I ever have. I mean, I've always been kind of an observationist, kind of looking at the world around me or the town that I grew up in. And talking about that. And I've never really focused on talking about my own emotions, sharing those where I'm at, and it just felt like the right time. I mean, I just got married. A lot of things have come to fruition for me personally. I'm a lot happier now, and I just feel like more of an open person. So naturally, like, it's just been reflected in the songs. 26,
27 as a human being is the moment where you start to question narcissism and you start to try and replace it, at least step by step, with things that really matter. And so those couple of years from that point, to be married and to be in a situation where you can reflect on your life, it feels like that's kind of perfect timing if you put that into context.
For sure.
Were you sort of a narcissist before that? Were there moments? I mean,
I might still be, I don't know, I probably am. I mean, yeah, I think every young person is. Honestly, psychedelics, I will say, have changed my perspective in a lot of ways in that, and have given me a different perspective, made me feel like, I'm nothing in the grand scheme of time, but we are also everything and everyone matters. When we're all in this together, and that, I was kind of on a little bit of a spiritual journey, a light one, when this song came to me. I was sitting on my porch, and that and Mother came to me, and then I wrote both of them the next day.
Wow.
But also, what's interesting is, like, so Slow Burn was the last song that we wrote for the record.
What?
And it came out really fast, and the same day we wrote Slow Burn and Mother, and we knew that the album was done, and I played around, like, relentlessly with different sequences, like obsessively just trying to figure out, like, how do these songs need to flow? And so I wrote all the different song titles on a piece of paper, and then I cut up those pieces of paper and would arrange them in different ways. And I was always putting Slow Burn last, and just something just didn't feel that cool about it. I was
Even
like,
with the opening lyric, which is such an all-encompassing starting of a journey.
In my head at first, like on first thought, I was like, oh, this would be a sick closer for a record.
Right,
like you get to the album or to the end, and that's what it is.
And what was the opener out of interest for the longest time?
Oh, What a World.
Good opener.
And I was like, that would be a sick opener. But then I was like, wait, that's so basic of me. Like, what if I put this first? And like, holy shit, like, what if this started out the journey? Like, just kind of eased everybody in. And the opening line, I mean, I'm making fun of myself.
It's rare I go through songs lyric by lyric, or at least for the majority, but it feels like every one of those lines feels special to you, and it really introduces you to other people.
Yeah.
And Born in a Hurry, Always Late, classic situation.
And it's true.
Premature Birth often have that reaction when people are just like, well, I'll take my time now. I was a little in a rush early on, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I was a month early, and I was like 4 pounds, a little over 4 pounds.
Wow, you were teeny.
I was real small, and my mom, it was on the day of her baby shower, and she was like opening presents, having fun, and she was like, oh, we gotta go. And I don't know, it just makes me laugh because I just like kind of have a hard time staying on task, and time management is not really my thing, so.
But okay, right.
88 is
88,
the last time
of course, Born in a Hurry, exactly. Texas is Hot, I Can Be Cold, Grandma Cried When I Pierced My Nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did, and she still has shit to say every time she sees me and makes fun of it. And I also have a septum ring too that I wear just sometimes. I don't know, I just got bored one day and whatever. But She, literally always still makes jokes. She's like, you got something in there. I'm like, oh, original, thanks.
You seem to be very unafraid as a writer, as an artist, to be able to fly in the face of any convention whatsoever, according to where you were born, what kind of music moves you, and what kind of passion you have to make that kind of music, and where you perhaps should be. And we know that up until very recently, really, when I think kids have taken control of genre and ripped it apart, you know, it can be hard to break out of a mold, and yet you seem to have been really wanting to do that from day one.
Well, there's a lot of freedom when you do that from day one because there's no expectations on you. And I mean, especially me coming from the Nashville, you know, country music, the modern country music genre, there can be a lot of, you know, expectations, stipulations, boxes, a lot of rigid lines, especially as a female.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's not gonna be me. Like, I'll just literally not have a career if this isn't gonna work, but I'm not gonna do this if I can't just do what I wanna do.
Yeah.
I mean, it would kill me if I would have come out of the box and, you know, swallowed my pride and sang a song or done something that wasn't really me or didn't really feel right, but, you know,
worse,
got
was
attention.
successful.
That's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. And then there's no going back. I mean, literally, that's it. Like, you're done. And I was just like, that's not gonna be me.
When you think of your peers now, and I think of what's happened in the last 5 to 10 years in Nashville and beyond, and I look at artists, not just yourself, but also the way pop music has embraced country music and how it's now influencing
Isn't that crazy?
pop music in the biggest way.
Absolutely. I mean, even if you look at like the style, I mean, Western fashion has always been something that I've loved so much. I mean, I grew up wearing it down in Texas, like the hats, the fringe, rhinestones and stuff. I mean, it's part of me. I can't get rid of it. I love it so much. And then you see, you know, Miley and Kesha and like a lot of people like adoring those styles, and it makes me really happy because for the longest time in country music, everyone kind of was like, it's not that cool to be country. And now I love that it's actually being embraced. I mean, look, Mason Ramsey is like a perfect example of like pop culture like thriving on country. I mean, Yeehaw is having such a moment. Have you seen Twitter?
Oh, dude, he's such a superstar. It's unbelievable. And it's so funny because I've got these, you know, people who I work with who are super tapped in, and they just search for the most exciting new things. And all they want to talk about is 3 things, one of which is Mason Ramsey. And they're just obsessed with this little guy because they just believe in him. And I think about an artist like Sturgill Simpson as well, who has really forged his path too and done things his way. And he's just another side of what I would consider the you know, perhaps the more kind of traditional and timeless version of country music, but again, covering Nirvana, doing interesting things.
Yeah, it does his own thing for sure. I mean, talks about LSD and you know, I mean, just doing his thing. And like the thing, like there's always going to be purists out there that are angry when you stray from whatever it is that they either know you to be or what they think that the genre is. But first of all, what the hell is even country music anyways these days? I mean, it's a bunch of different things.
I just look at it as great songwriting. I just look at it as great storytelling and great songwriting.
Dude, the best country has always been great songwriting, story song, storytelling. You know, look at like Loretta Lynn, who sang about like real life things that were hard for people to talk about at the time, birth control and like, you know, things like that. And so I don't know, that's the thing that I appreciate about the genre most.
Yeah,
and,
no, for sure. So one of the things that really stands out for me on the album, and it's in, you know, really in great evidence here during your performance on this set, is you know, the vocal performances on this record. You seem to have found this perfect balance, I think, between this power and this passion in your vocal performance, but you're really controlling your tone. Like, it's so effortless on the record, and I wonder whether or not that was very much by design in the way that you did it, or it just came out according to the writing. Because I can hear it, and the tone and the performance blows me away on this record.
Thanks. I appreciate you saying that because it was kind of by design, you know, really wanting to play with the arrangements and the melodies more, you know, kind of a nod to those old, you know, the 70s gold, like those songs where female singers would modulate and really soar over, you know, the arrangements. And I've never really had songs like that. You know, I think for a long time, I just got really comfortable, you know, staying kind of in this vocal range that in a way probably made me stand out against like super powerhouse singers. You know, Merry Go Round, like those little songs, it's like very intimate. It's almost a whisper, and the vocals are tailored to, you know, what the lyric needs.
You're serving the purpose that the song needs, as opposed to like, I'm going to control this performance.
Yeah, no. Well, and I mean, I've never had a voice like Ariana or somebody like that can, you know, is very acrobatic. That's just not my strong suit. And like, I've always been more of a lyricist. But this time I was like, look, I really want to sing. I want to have fun with it, and I kind of forgot that I can sing. So it's been like a fun challenge for me.
No, one of the best vocal performance records of the year, and I think about, you know, Oh What a World, which is one of the standout songs, and how anybody else would have stepped into that arrangement and probably felt, especially off the back of the bridge, to try and reach some other platform, you know what I mean?
Oh man, the hardest one is Happy and Sad. There's a modulation. We got a couple mods on the album, and I don't know. I mean, who doesn't love a mod? Like, really.
One of the most powerful songs on the record is Mother, and obviously when it appears on the album, when you initially hear it, it's short. It really does what it needs to do very, very quickly, and it really leaves you wanting more, but then also being a little scared to hear more, because it's such an emotional moment. And you know, I know you spoke a little bit before about being in a willfully altered state when you wrote that song. It's not the kind of song you normally expect people to write. It's not Pet Sounds. So I mean, like, where did that song come from, and how?
Well, I was sitting on my porch one summer day, one summer night, and yeah, I was on.
Is it true? Do you honestly just sit there and write songs on your porch?
I mean,
is that like a real thing?
On your porch?
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, honestly, it's like.
What's weird is like, for up until like literally a week ago, I didn't even have chairs out there, so I didn't go out there and sit. But for some reason this night, we went on a little trip and sat on the porch, and my husband was kind of in the background, just like playing this like really sad acoustic music, like really sad minor chords and shit. And I was like, you're bringing me down. I'm getting so sad over here. And I was just thinking about, I don't know, I just started thinking about just the world, like everybody of all kinds, just the fact that we're in this together. We're just in this crazy ass time. And I don't know, it just made me feel like closer to humanity, you know? And I started thinking about my mom and just really missing my family. They all live in Texas. And she texted me. She texted me at that moment, and it's long story short, it was just a really sweet text, and it was a picture of her hands, because she was really proud of herself that she had stopped biting her nails. And this sounds so mundane, but she was like, look, you'd be really proud of me. I stopped biting my nails. And I was like, Mom, that's awesome. I'm so proud of you. They look so good. And she wrote back and she goes, ugly old hands. I can't keep the East Texas dirt off of them.
Oh my God.
And the way that she said that, I just like lost it. And then he's back here playing this sad music, and I'm like,
and you're high.
I'm just not even on earth. No, I'm just kidding. But no, but I just felt really open, and the floodgates open, and I just was thinking about my mom's hands, and the fact that I'm sitting there in Tennessee missing my mom, who's sitting there in Texas missing her mom, who passed away a few years ago. And then I wrote the song down in my phone and finished it the next day.
So I wonder how far it goes for at this point now, Kacey, and you know, I feel you could play this album for a long time, but what are your thoughts, you know, for the future?
I am putting together my headlining tour for the fall and for next year. I feel really energetic and really excited to keep bringing this album to people, more so than I really ever have. And I'm finding a lot of joy in playing the songs. I'm happily married, and exploring that, and you know, working on my house whenever I am home, which is never, but things are good. I'm happy, and this has been a crazy year. Touring with Harry was really fun, and just putting this record out and seeing how people have championed me evolving, and also it finding new people that didn't know me before has been really gratifying.
Well, thank you. Thanks for an amazing album that I still listen to and still put on various playlists, and it's amazing how the songs can just fit into so many different contexts.
I love that.
You know?
Yeah, dude, that's my favorite part. Like, I don't know, that's how music should be these days, and I love that. The main thing that I feel like I hear or see that people are saying about this record is, I hate country music, but I fucking love Kacey Musgraves, or I love this album, or
well,
whatever.
I don't hate country music, but I love this album. I actually made a playlist when I was on vacation, which went from Thomas Newman into Slow Burn into a Beck song, and it was like the three best.
Okay, awesome.
It was fucking awesome.
Sick.
So seriously, like, as records go, it works beautifully as a whole, but also it's a great moment individually too. And yeah, thanks again for doing this for us. Really excited to have been able to collaborate with you on this.
Dude, thank you.